Dear children, welcome to my first session of Chapter 7, Algorithmic Problem Solving, Composition and Decomposition. In this session, you will be learning the notations for algorithms. There are mainly three different notations for representing algorithms: programming language, pseudocode, flowchart. What is a programming language? A programming language is a notation for expressing algorithms to be executed by computers. An algorithm expressed in a programming language is called a program. C, C++, Java, and Python are examples of prominent programming languages. The second notation for algorithms is pseudocode. What is a pseudocode? A pseudocode is a mix of programming language-like constructs and plain English. An algorithm expressed in pseudocode is not for computers to execute, but for human readers to understand. The third notation for algorithms is flowchart. A flowchart is a diagrammatic notation for representing algorithms. A flowchart is a collection of boxes containing statements and conditions which are connected by arrows showing the flow of control. In order to represent an algorithm in the form of a flowchart, you should first learn the symbols used in flowchart. A statement is contained in a rectangular box with a single outgoing arrow. This symbol is called as a rectangle. A condition is contained in a diamond-shaped box with two outgoing arrows, true and false. This symbol is called a diamond. Parallelogram boxes represent inputs and outputs. This symbol is called as a parallelogram. Oval boxes represent start and end of an algorithm. This symbol is called oval. Therefore, there are four important symbols used in flowchart. Rectangle to represent a statement. The diamond shape to represent a condition. Parallelograms for inputs and outputs, and oval shapes for start and end of the algorithm. I will show you how to draw flowchart for the following example. Draw a flowchart of an algorithm to compute the quotient and remainder after dividing an integer a by an integer b. Start the flowchart by using the oval shape to represent start. Use arrows to show the direction of flow of control. So from the start box, you have an outgoing arrow, and the next symbol will be a parallelogram to give the inputs a, b. Again an outgoing arrow, and now I give an assignment statement q, r, colon equal to 0, a in a rectangle. Q and R are the outputs. I have initialized them to 0 and A respectively. Another outgoing arrow, and now I place a diamond shaped box for the condition R greater than or equal to B. A diamond-shaped box has two outgoing arrows, one for true and another for false. First, we will go along the true direction. If the condition R greater than or equal to B is true, then I place another rectangle with an assignment statement Q comma R colon equal to Q plus 1 comma R minus B, and an outgoing arrow which takes the control back to the diamond, which is the condition. So here we have an iteration, an iterative step where the condition is tested, and if it is true, the statement is executed, and this goes on repeatedly until the condition is true. And once the condition becomes false, this condition R greater than or equal to B becomes false. You have the other outgoing arrow false. And now I will place a parallelogram to show the outputs Q and R. And finally, the end of the algorithm is represented by the oval containing end. Even though flowcharts are easy to understand and they clearly indicate the sequence of instructions, they have their own disadvantages. The first disadvantage is flowcharts are less compact for complex algorithms. The second disadvantage, they obscure the basic hierarchical structure of the algorithms. The third disadvantage is showing alternative and iterative statements in flowchart is difficult. And the last disadvantage, modification of flowchart is time consuming. In this session, you learned the notations used for algorithms. Algorithms can be represented using programming language, pseudocode, and flowchart. That's all in this session. Thank you.